Hey guys, Sakir from sakitech, and in today's video we are going to be talking about Samsung One UI 6.0, all the new features and all the changes. So right over here we have a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra running One UI 6.0 with Android 14, and right over here we have One UI 5.0 with Android 13 also running on a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. So let's dive in and discover all the new features and all the new changes side by side compared to the older One UI 5.1. Now the very first thing I'm going to show you guys, which is very cool, is if you go into your About phone, you can see that the image of the actual phone that is reflected on the display is actually larger on One UI 6.0. You can see this one is small, this one is large. They do reflect the color of your actual device. Next thing I'm going to show you, if I go to display, the first thing you'll notice is before we go into display, you can see now they have added the battery settings right over here. It is not here. So now battery settings are accessible directly from the settings menu, and this is what it gives you, which is the same thing normally found under device care. Now if I go to display, we also have a brand new font, and we also have different sliders. As you can see, the slider here is thicker as opposed to this one. It is a little bit more pronounced. But if I scroll down and go to font and size, okay, right over here, we do have a brand new font. They're both in bold, same size, and you can see even the slider for the size looks different on both of these devices. But we do have a brand new default system-wide font. Now the weather application on One UI 6.0 is going to be a little bit better, so let's launch the weather application, okay, and launch this one right here. And you can see right off the bat there's a little difference in colors and presentation, especially if you scroll down. So animations are a little bit different, but if you scroll down, take a look at the way this changes color to white, but this doesn't. And also, if I scroll down even more, I am getting more information at a glance as opposed to here. I have 4 bricks. Here I have 6 bricks. I'm seeing pressure. I'm seeing visibility. I'm seeing the sunrise to sunset, moonset to moonrise, and all that stuff is now here, fully available. And if you scroll down, you see even more information. But I like the fact that I have these available. Depending on where you live, these things can be very important and informational. So brand new weather application, that is fantastic. The next thing I want to talk about real quick has to do with the notifications panel. The next thing we want to look at is the notifications panel. So when we pull this down, you can see the area is going to look a little bit different. We have a different blurring effect in the background, which is nicer. And also you can see next to each one of these notifications, you see the actual icon of that application over here. That is not the case. It says M and it's red. It is accented. Over here, this is the actual icon for the app. So when I go into the mail application right here, that is the icon, and that's going to match the icon in the notifications panel. The next thing that has changed, and that is very, very popular, is the brand new music controller in the actual notifications area. Now they look the same when you look at them like this. Let me play this and play this. They look the same, but when you expand them, this one, as you can see, is far more prettier with the album art in the background of the actual player. And you can see when I pull the seeker further, you can also get this nice wavy animation. We do not have that right here. Very bland and very flat. So this is absolutely beautiful. Now when you pull it one more time, then we have the brand new quick toggles area. Now it is more logically arranged. You can see again there's a big difference. This one looks far better. On the top you got the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. Over here you have your customizable quick toggles. Over here you have the brightness slider. You can tap this button to access additional settings. Same thing is possible here, but again, this one looks more unified. This is just something that looks a little bit flatter. It's not bad. This one just looks more immersive. Now let's go back, and then we go back. You also have the eye comfort shield and the dark mode right here next to the brightness slider, which makes sense. So this is your display control area. And then you get this smart view and the device control that is moved from top to bottom. Now if you tap on edit, you are able to edit the top area of the quick toggles. Okay, this one right here. Let me go back. So that is in fact this area, the top area right here, that is editable separately as opposed to the full panel, which you can edit from here, which is great. You also have the quick settings instant access option. So if you enable this, okay, what you can do is when you pull from the top corner, it brings down the quick toggles right away. You do not have this option here. Over here, no matter what you do, it brings down the notifications panel, and then you have to swipe one more time to bring the quick toggles. So you have that option there. Tap on edit again, and then we have the brightness control. We can hide that or show it on the top area if you want. And a couple more little things over here, and contact for Samsung. That's the quick toggle differences in both of these phones. 6.0 looks much better. Now I do want to show you something really cool with the camera. We're going to come back to the camera to look at all the features, but this thing I'm going to show you right off the bat. So when you go to the camera and when you launch the settings on both of these options, now we have something new known as advanced intelligence options that we don't have over here. So if I go inside here, I am able to choose between different quality optimizations. So if you want maximum quality, you keep it right here, which is what I recommend. If you prefer speed capture time, faster shutter speed, and less quality, you go with medium. And if you want just super fast shutter speed, but minimum optimization on the photos, you go with this one. So there's an option for every single desire. By the way, when you have maximum enabled, you are able to disable and enable the scene optimizer, which as you can see has moved from here inside here, just so you know. Now we'll come back to the camera because we do have more changes, but let's look at some other interesting stuff. If I go back into the settings, all right, if we scroll all the way down, you can go into device care. You can see the device care is now only known as device care here. Here it says battery and device care. But because we have the battery now over here, they took the word battery out of it, so it is standalone. But when you go inside, they mostly look the same. You can access battery, storage, memory, and all that from here. Now the storage area is going to look a little bit different, as you can see, okay? Not a huge difference, but when you pull down, look at all these stuff. Trash, unused apps, duplicate files, recommendations on what actions to take. Looks a little bit different from here, as you can see. So that's one thing. But the other thing, the nice thing is, if you scroll down under performance, you have performance profile and auto optimization. You also have the auto optimization here, but you do not have the instant performance profile selection, which is available from the get-go right here. Also, if you go to auto optimization, we have something brand new and very cool. Now this restart is done by the phone itself. With this auto optimization restart, you can turn it on and you can select a specific schedule and specific days and specific time for the phone to auto restart, and that's going to help optimize the phone and run better. But that's good that they gave you some more options. I think these were available in 4.0, but they're back in 6.0, so that's cool. All right, so we're going to go back. Other things look same. Graphics are slightly different, as you can see. Not a huge difference. If I go to memory, that's going to look the same. Let's see if the animation is different. It is not. This area is exactly the same. Now, in the gallery app, we have a couple changes. I'm going to show you one real quick. So let's go to the gallery. And the first thing you can do is you can tap this button here, okay? And you have now the brand new Studio standalone video editing tool. So basically, if I tap on this, it's going to take me to the Studio application where I can start a new project, I can import files, and I can edit and make movies. Let me just show you a quick example. It's going to look just like this one. So now I can actually, make some movies and stuff, add some text and all that stuff in the Studio application. We do have the same thing here, but what you have to do is you have to select them one by one, and then tap on create, and then go to movie, and then we go to the same Studio application. That does look a little bit different, as you can see. So hopefully over time they're going to make this Studio application even better, but now it is actually available as a standalone application. In fact, if you go to the app drawer, you're going to see the Studio application right here, which you can use to make movies on your phone. Fantastic. Next up, if I go into any one of these photos and tap on edit, you are going to see we have some differences in the layout. Specifically, when you tap on this button right here, it now gives you all the options like object eraser, the lasso tool, the face effects, the spot color, the color mix, and the style effect right here. So for example, the style effect is this thing right here. It just changes gives you a style for a photo. Now previously it was in here, as you can see, okay? They were right here. Now they are available, all these options right here as a little line of options. Fantastic. Now one more thing, when we go to the settings, let's go to the settings in both, and when we go into connections and Wi-Fi, what we now have is if I tap on this one right here and go into intelligent Wi-Fi, I am able to scroll down and access the connectivity labs feature. To access this, I have to go inside here and just tap on it a couple times. That's going to enable the connectivity labs right here. We do have the same thing here, okay? Let's go inside. I'm going to show you guys how to enable it. I just tapped it, so now I have the Wi-Fi options. But however, we do have so much more happening under connectivity labs on this side of the One UI than One UI 5.0. Look at all these options, okay? So you can play with these as you go inside. So that is a new addition in One UI 6.0. Let's move on and look for more. Now when I go to customize my lock screen, let's go to wallpaper and style on both. Okay, it looks the same almost. Go into this clock area. You can see I can actually move my clock around. So I can resize it. You have to tap on it. You can move it around, as you can see. Let me change the color so you can see it a little bit better here. Okay. Click on done, so it's right here. You can see I can now move it around to position it properly where I want it to. Here, I can tap on it, I can resize it, but I cannot move it around, okay? Here, I can resize and I can make it smaller and move it around and put it on any corner, as you can see. That is fantastic. Now, when we go to the settings, there's also another great menu here. Go to security and privacy, okay? We have a new option here. When you go to security and privacy, you now have this brand new auto blocker menu. When you click it, you have a whole bunch of options. Now when you turn it on, all these options become available. So let's turn this on, okay? And now look, block apps from unauthorized stores. Turn on app security checks. Blocks commands by a USB cable, which actually can be done very easily. If somebody connects a USB cable to your device with malware or connected to a computer, they can run commands to manipulate your phone and get information, mess up your phone. So that is going to protect it. You got the message app protection, and you also have block software updates by USB cable, okay? So you can enable this for an enhanced layer of security. All right, looks like it's version 1.1.2. But this is in fact a brand new settings under security and privacy. We also have a few brand new widgets. We have a brand new weather widget. Let's show you that real quick. Okay, let's go down here, weather. You can see we have 6 different widgets now. On this side, we only have 4, as you can see. But basically, the weather insights and weather and news are brand new. And if you add these to your screen, basically you get some weather insights right in your widget along with the current weather. So that's fantastic. Let me look at one thing. They are not resizable, but you can go to the settings and you can make some modifications. But we do have a brand new weather widget. We also have a brand new, highly useful camera widget. So pinch the screen, go to widgets, and then scroll down and go to camera. We don't have that over here on One UI 5.0. It's the custom camera. So let's tap on it and tap on add. So basically, once you tap on add, what you can do is you can give your widget a title. So let's just say video, okay? And then you can say the starting mode for the camera when you tap on the widget. Let me just fix that typo. Starting mode, I want it to be video, and I want it to be for the rear camera. You can do front or rear, okay? And then you can save the pictures to a specific location, and you can change the background of the widget. You can select images from gallery or use most recent image in the camera. So now I tap on save. Look at that right here. So basically this is, if I tap it, it launches the camera, goes straight into the video mode on my camera. And again, I can do this as many times as I want. Let me just show it to you so you get the idea. Camera, tap on this guy, tap on add. Again, let's just say selfie, save, starting mode, front camera, photo, or portrait, okay? And then that's it. Tap on save, tap on selfie, and now it's going to launch the front camera, as you can see, and take a photo in the portrait mode. So you're good to go right away with these widgets. You can have as many as you want. You can change the background so they're customized and the image makes sense. Now let's take a look at all the camera differences. So I'm going to launch the camera, and right off the bat you're going to see we have a brand new interface. Let's go back to this side over here. You can see everything looks nicer here. So previously, if I wanted to access 200 megapixels, I would tap this and go to 200 megapixels. All right. And then you also have the aspect ratios listed like 3:4 or whatever right here. Now, aspect ratio are separate, and also the megapixels can be selected from here. So 50, 200 right from here, which is fantastic. Overall layout is a little bit different, as you can see. And again, if I go into the video mode, the same changes reflect here. So again, aspect ratio, fonts are different. Look at this. When I tap this, it looks much better than this. The FPS and the size of the video are separated. So look, I can do 30, 4K, or 64K, so much more easier. This is a very nice little interface. This is also nice, but this is nicer as far as selection is concerned. But the fonts and the icons, super steady, as you can see, is a little bit different as opposed to this, okay? Also known as the action mode on other smartphones. And the same stuff applies to more. If I go to Pro Video or Pro Photo, we're going to have all these different fonts and these different interfaces. Fantastic. Now a couple more things that are very cool. If you go to the settings of the camera, when you go to watermark, you are able to add watermarks to your photos like this. Now previously, you could make a bunch of changes. Now what you can do is you have this additional top and bottom option. So by default, it's at the bottom here, and you can see I can change where the watermark appears on every photo that I take. But now I can have it on the top or the bottom and center, left or right. Here it was just left, center, right. So that's a new feature, and that's great. One more thing, we have this new option here known as swipe up and down to switch cameras. So if you enable this, which is the default here, what you can do is you can swipe like this to change the front and back camera. But if you don't want that option, you can actually disable it. That's great. Another feature I have is when I go to the settings, let's go to the settings here. Let's go inside display and display as an example. When I swipe back, I actually see what I'm going back to. Predictive back animations. Over here, we don't have that, okay? You just go back and you get dumped to the settings. Here, wherever you are, when you swipe back, you get a little predictive imagery of what you're going back to. Now, to enable this setting, you do have to go to the developer options. You have to enable the options. Then you go inside, and all the way at the bottom somewhere, a little bit on the top, you're going to see predictive back animations that you have to enable to be able to see what you're going back to. Okay? If you don't have developer options enabled, you go to About Phone, Software Information, and you do have to tap on the build number several times, 7 times, to enable that setting. Then you can enable predictive back, and you're going to be good to go. Now, one more thing I want to show you guys, which is very cool. If you launch the gallery, okay, let's just delete this photo right here. I'm going to delete this photo, move to trash. Then I'm going to delete this photo, move to trash. Now, when I go to My Files, all right, let's go to My Files right here. My Files, you can see that we are able to go into the trash here and actually see photos from the gallery that were deleted right here. Okay, over here, we don't have that option. I just deleted a photo on this side. It's not showing up here, but on this side, it is showing up here. So now you can access gallery trash from the My Files trash bin as well. All right, so that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys saw all the differences. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day.